step is our safety and sanitation procedures. So I'm first going to start off by quickly washing my hands right here. Alright, so I'm now drying my hands. And not only that, but we also have a clean workspace over here with all of the ingredients that we need for the recipe, which is a Brownies Hershey Ultimate half batch. So we have baking soda, baking cocoa, butter, obviously flour and sugar, pure vanilla extract, salt, chocolate chips, and then of course measuring cups and measuring spoons needed for the recipe. So now since we have all of that done, our next step is actually our mise en place, but before we do that, we need to set our oven to 350 degrees. There we go, we'll have that nice and ready, and then we're also cooking in an 8-inch round pan for the recipe today. And then I'm gonna grease our 8-inch round pan. Alright, so we're first going to start off by adding 6 tablespoons of cocoa powder into our big bowl. So we're going to start off by doing that. And obviously you want to level it off each and every time you add some of this mixture or anything into your bowl, just because you don't want to add way too much of it inside the bowl. So the second one. Alright, and here's our last one. Right in the bowl. So next we want to add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda right into the mixture here. So again, I'm leveling it off, making sure that I'm not adding all that much in. There we go. Make sure I'm getting all of it. It's in there. I'm going to melt 3 tablespoons of butter in the microwave for our next step. And just for this recipe, I'll go for about 30 or so seconds. Alright, so I melted the butter a little bit longer than I said I did. I said I got 30 seconds on this, but I actually ended up heating it up for like another minute just because I was mistaken and it didn't really heat up fast enough. But before I add the butter into the mix, I'm first going to stir together the cocoa and the baking soda a little bit, just so like they're all mixed together and not really separated here. So I'm going to do this for like a little bit longer, not super long. And then we're going to add 3 tablespoons of melted butter into the bowl right here. I want to make sure we're getting all of this in here. And then we're going to stir in 3 tablespoons rather of melted butter first. And we're going to keep doing this until the mixture thickens. I want to make sure I'm getting like all the sides where there's still some like powder on here. I want to make sure I'm including all of it together. So the next step calls for a 1/4 cup of boiling water. So I'm going to do my best here to get it to that length. Let's see here. I think that's just about good. So we'll add it in the microwave here for a certain amount of time until it's an appropriate temperature. So I heated my 1/4 cup of boiling water in the microwave for 1 minute, and that's how long I did. And I can just tell it's hot because of all the steam coming out. Take this out of the microwave. I will add this boiling water into the big bowl. We'll add it right in there, and then we're gonna mix this a little bit more until it thickens. So hopefully this should make it a lot more less hard. Alright, so we added the boiling water in, and if you move closer you can see how less stiff it is now. It's all a moving liquid. But next up, we have to add 1 cup of sugar in. So there we go. We have 1 cup of sugar, so we'll just level it off, like so. Alright, add it in the bowl. Then we also have a mashed up egg, which we'll also add into the bowl right after, just like so. And then we also have the remaining of butter. We have the other 3 tablespoons. Time to melt the remaining butter. Alright, there we go. Got that moving. And we'll do about, let's say, a minute. We finally have this all heated up. We are now going to add the remainder of the butter into our dish. big dish right here. And now, we're just gonna stir it until it's smooth. Alright, so our next step is flour, and you might be asking, how much do I need? I basically need a half a cup plus 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. So we're going to level it off right here. That's a good amount. This is a half a cup of the flour, and then we're also going to grab 2 tablespoons of this as well. Get a little grab right here. 1 and 2. All done with that. Next, we have to add our vanilla and our salt. So we need 1/2 tablespoon of some vanilla extract right here. And then we have our 1/8 teaspoon of salt, which is right over here. Yep, so now we're going to take all the ingredients and blend completely. So before we put this all in the oven to bake, we have to add a half a cup of chocolate chips into the mix. I think this is a good amount. We'll add a little bit more. Maybe finish off the whole bag. Alright, I feel like that's good. So we'll add all these in here. And then we'll throw it in the oven. Alright, so we have all of it in the pan right now. We have all of it mixed together. Safely put this in. We're going to close this up. And the bake temperature is already at 350 degrees, but we're going to set the timer for a good 20 to 25 minutes. Alright, so it's currently baking, and we'll see how it looks when it's all done. Finished up. It's all done.